Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 18 of our FTB OceanBlock Let's Play series, where today we are working on finishing up our ore processing automation and getting our Mystical Agriculture essences automated. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so back here on Oil Rig Andrata, and I went ahead and did what I said I was going to do, set up the importers or the exporters on all of these to export their requisite chunks. We have the importers. I did go ahead and get stack and speed upgrades on all of these so that they're all maxed out, ready to go. We made those last episode. It wasn't too difficult to do, just a bunch of sugar processing and everything like that, and some quartz enriched iron. So with that being said, we need to now work on getting the automation set up for those. By the way, I also went ahead and set up a flux controller, and I set the flux controller to be on our output network so that it can apparently, I guess the flux controller is required to do wireless charging. So did that. We have wireless charging available to us, and it's doing that flickering because we're charging up our battery here. Our jetpack was charging up, so we're just low on power, essentially, is what it is, because all of our power is draining into our battery and into our jetpack, and everything is being drained, from there to here. And this has an input of 200 RF because the output caps on this. The energy cell starter can only do 200 RF per tick. We need to work on upgrading these as our buffer, but it's coming. We'll definitely start doing that because, well, we need better than 200 RF a tick transfer rates for all of our stuff. And the same thing's going to apply to this. Though this one, the basic has 2,500 RF, so it would probably be prudent for us to upgrade that sooner than later. At least that way we can get, more power transferring into this or at a faster rate. Makes sense? All of that makes sense. Anyway, so what we're going to do is take a nap real quick because it is becoming nighttime. And then we are going to set up a couple things. So for our refined storage, our thermal series, and I love how I have elevators set up here, but now that I have a jetpack, it's just easier to fly to get where I need to go. So I just don't even bother with the elevators anymore, especially since our base is so open. I can just go wherever I need to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this up so that we have refined storage is going to come into both of these machines, right? Into the back, which this is going to be kind of a pain to deal with, but it will make it work. So we're going to have cables are going to come routed up here from the bottom. And we're going to have on each of these, we're going to have an exporter on the iron chest, and we're going to have an importer on the pulverizer. Okay. And then the same thing for the furnace. And the reason we're going to do so is that so we can have these chests act as a buffer for all of our clusters because we don't want them clogging up our refined storage system. So as you can see here, I have all of our clusters already loaded up into here, all the different types. And then I also have all of the dusts. I went ahead and pulverized one of each of them, so we have all the dusts available. So that way we have everything available to teach the refined storage system or teach the exporter how to, what is it going to be exporting. So what we need to do is take our cables, and we're going to be running our cable down here, which is not going to be the easiest thing to do with this jetpack. Oh goodness. This is with hover mode on too. I need to see if the higher tier jetpacks have a better hover than this. It would also probably help if I used the axe that this is telling me to use. Oh, goodness gracious. I want to move the Feral Flare Lantern one down so that can at least run straight. Oh, goodness. Go. 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 And land. Okay. So how did I do this over here? I then ran it down, right? Yes. So actually from here, we need to go down. I need more cables too. Cables. That should be good for now. So we're going to run this downwards. Come on. This is why I generally do all these cable runs off camera, so you guys don't have to see me fighting with my cables. But luckily, we should be able to now just run straight across. over to here, and there we go. So the cable infrastructure is run over to this side. So now we just need to make the importers and the exporters. So we need a importer. We're going to need 2 of these, and I think I'm going to need some more cores, I think. So that's importer. And then we want exporter. Yeah, we're going to need construction cores, more basic processors. And I need more silicon. Luckily, we have silicon essence, so we should be good to go here. Not recipe, usage. It was you, which was you, which was you, which was you. What I'm going to do is actually grab my Supremium furnace and some coal. We're just going to set this up like over in this area. We'll set it up like here is fine. That way, you know, we can just quickly do these things. This thing's so fast. It's convenient, more convenient than flying up there and using the thermal machine to do so. Okay, so exporter, that's you, and we needed this. And bam. Okay, 2 exporters, 2 importers, exactly what we need. So if we pop up here, now the importers can import whatever they want. I'm not concerned about what the importers are going to be doing. So we're going to have the importers sit on the back here. And then the exporters are going to export into their respective chests. And all of it's going to be connected, so we don't have to worry about it by the one cable coming into there. So the exporter, and actually, I need the advanced exporter. So we need to actually upgrade these guys, which I think is going to require some diamond, which we should have. Exporter is going to need, oh no, it's only improved processors. That's what's up. But we need to make more improved processors. We are going to get to auto crafting soon. I'm probably going to dive into mechanism to do all of our auto crafting and stuff. And we're going to start migrating away from thermal for everything. Not that thermal is bad, but mechanism is faster. So just a thing. It's faster. Even when we get these max upgraded and everything, the fact that mechanism factories can do many machines at once makes it superior. Or many items at once, yeah. Okay, so now the advanced exporter. So we should have enough to do all of these, right? So if I do this, this, and this, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And if I put all these back in here. Wait, what happened? Oh, it started exporting. Well, we'll see what happens, I guess, because that was a mistake. It started exporting all this stuff into here already, so I don't know if I missed anything. I think I got it all, but it's possible I missed some. So we'll just grab our dusts here real quick, and we're going to go ahead and get those in here. Now, remember, not everything that has a dust is going to, or well, not everything has a dust. Like diamonds and stuff in the emeralds and all that stuff. I'm not going to have to worry about those going into here because they're going to get pulled out of the pulverizer and just go straight into the system. And yes, I know I can get way more out of the induction smelter than I can with the pulverizer. I understand. However, there's no real easy way to automate this induction smelter to just for the importer to just put in one item at a time. Outside of like a redstone pulse to determine what's in here, integrated dynamics probably could do it, but I'm not. I have never really played with integrated dynamics, and I don't know if I have the mental capacity right now to do it. So yeah, maybe in the future in this, but at the moment I'm out of spoons, so we're not going to worry about it. Anyway, all right, so the pulverizer, what we need to do is set it to auto input, and it's going to auto input from the top, and then the back is going to be the export. So everything's going to come out of here. Dusts are going to come from here, go into our refined storage system, and then they're going to get put into here. And we should start seeing, look, there's aluminum grit. We have dust starting to fill up in here. So it's the same thing here, input from the top, output to the back. Now, both of these are fully upgraded for the tier that we're at. We can get the higher tier components and everything. But that is pretty much this completely automated. Like we're doubling our ores on the on the easy and automated. So if we go back down here, now we could set up stack upgrades on that, but I don't know if it's absolutely necessary because they can only process one item at a time. But if we go down here and we look at our clusters, we're going to see all this stuff is going to start importing. But look at that. We have like 500 gold clusters, 1,100 copper clusters. So we have a lot to go, which is going to get us 2,000 ingots, 1,000 ingots of all that. So we're just going to let it run. We'll let it process, do its thing. And we shouldn't have to worry too much about it. The biggest issue is going to be this guy not having enough power as a output. So we need to, how do we get the higher tier energy cell? And it might be even best for us to start diving into mechanisms sooner than later so we can set up the mechanism cells versus these. But to get this, I should have just made this in the first place. Yeah. I forgot that the starter was a thing, and the recipe was pretty much the same, isn't it? When I made that starter, yeah, it's literally just a couple extra capacitors. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Basic is what I want, and I need this thing, which is dielectric things. Dielectric paste is this. We'll go this recipe right now. And we ran out of power. And that's the issue that we're going to have because this is pulling too much and that thing can't output enough. Scooby-Doo, what do we do? See, the problem is we have enough power. We just don't have enough power. I guess I could just shut these off real quick. Let me go to a high redstone signal, and you too, high redstone signal. Stop running. Let this thing get some power back so that my refined storage can turn back on. Okay, let's try this again. Dielectric paste, bam. Not those, this. And the starter one. And now we can transfer 2,500 RF per tick, which will be significantly better. Get up there. And it's charging in my inventory right now, which is fine, to be honest with you, because it's going to charge right away. Now we should be okay, because these aren't going to use 2,000 RF per tick. So we can turn this back on, and we should be fine. And now we'll see if we go back up here, this thing's going to be transferring at 2,500 RF versus 200 RF. And this thing can just basically, yeet, get out of here, because you were completely worthless and a waste of resources to make, to be honest with you. At least in a pack like this where it's not gated. No, I want my bricks back, though. Those are my building blocks. So we can put those there, that there, and we are good to go. All right, so that gets that automated. So we're all set up, ready to go with our ore processing, so we don't have to deal with, anything like that. So now we need to get all of our stuff set back up. So what we're going to want is another importer. And we shouldn't need an advanced importer. Just a regular importer will do. But we're also going to want to get upgrades on this. So let's get speed upgrades from refined. And I need more of these, which means more quartz enriched iron. I really should work on making these quartz enriched iron essence, because we're going to run out of quartz is going to be the issue. Not iron, but quartz. Okay, and I should be able to make 4 of you, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need more of those, but I ran out of something. I need a stack upgrade though. Okay. What did I run out for you? Improved processors. Let's get a couple more of those. Where's my furnace? There we are. Okay. So there's that, and then speed upgrades, which is upgrades 1, 2, more quartz enriched iron. 3, and then 1, 2. Oh my goodness, this quartz enriched iron. Actually, that's enough. That's what I need. Okay. So we have an importer, and then we're going to want to get our ender chests. Remember, we got these ender chests from a quest, which was fantastic. But we're going to take these, and we need to have this import into our system. We can do that over in this area. Where is this? So what we can do is set this up just right on top of there. And then grab our importer, pop to the back, and we're going to say, hey, importer, import into the refined storage system anything that shows up in this ender chest. And while you're at it, do it fast. So if I go ahead and put my healing axe in here, nope, not in there. What I meant is to put my healing axe in here, you're going to see, it got into there. And if we go back down to our refined storage system, we will see the healing axe inside of here. Bam. So what that means is anything that ends up in an ender chest is going to get put into our refined storage system, which is what we're going to do over here. So I'm going to take this, and we're going to set this up in a way like so. And we'll get item pipes. And we'll say, Mr. Item Pipes, hook up to each of these chests for me. And then extract from each of these chests for me. Like so. Bam, 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 bam. And so everything's going to start going into here. And it'll all automatically get imported. Just like that. Which means I can now turn this back on. Because we've had this not running for a while. So we can turn it back on by turning the water source back on, which means all this is going to start running and everything's going to automatically dump into our refined storage system for us, which is fantastic. So now that is now 100% completely automated from resource generation all the way through to ingot processing, fully automated. We don't have to ever touch any of this again unless we want to speed it up. Like we can get the netherite sluices here, and we can get the, we can switch this over to mechanism or something like that. Now, one thing I will mention, because it's probably going to get mentioned in the comments, I would set up this Supremium furnace here instead of the redstone furnace. However, it doesn't have auto importing like this does, which just makes it a little bit more annoying to have to. I wouldn't be able to set up a buffer chest. I'd have to actually have the items go in there, and then I'd have to set up another importer just for the coal, and it just, I don't know. If it becomes an issue, if we start to bottleneck pretty hard here, I probably will, but as it stands now, the pulverizer is so slow, to be honest with you, that it's probably not going to bottleneck ever. At least on this end, it's this end that bottlenecks for us until we get it upgraded. So I'm not too worried about that thing. So yeah, anyway, that is this whole process completely automated. I am satisfied with my care and how this is set up. So then we could even set up this ender chest over here for our mob farm, though our mob farm is going to be changing. I don't need it to be this big anymore. We have most of the resources we need. So I'm probably going to set up like, we're going to actually tear down this whole thing, and then we'll probably set up like little offshoots. Even, heck, I was going to say maybe even these could be our mob farms, but maybe I'll just build off another little section, off of these, like maybe in this little area, and that'll be, little mob farms. We could have one for the blessed earth, we could have one for cursed earth whenever we get to that point, and we can just have, we could have one set up with a mob masher, and then we could have another one set up with a mob crusher, and then another one set up with a mob slaughter factory, so we can start getting all the stuff for industrial foregoing and all that, and we can just have, mob farms running all the time that are gathering resources and experience and all that stuff for us. So it's coming in a future episode, but that's why I'm not too concerned with setting this ender chest up over there. The only other place I might want to set this ender chest up would be for all of our resources here, but I might want another one just so that I don't have to dig underground and put it in the center. I could just have one ender chest sitting on this side and then another one on this side. That might be wise to do, so that way I have access to all of this stuff too. Let's see. Can we make another ender chest? I don't see why we shouldn't be able to. Yeah, we can. And let's get pipes. We're going to need some more item pipes. And boop. How many do we have in here? 4? That should be enough. So do we want this in the back of these or the front of them? Well, the back is going to be kind of a pain because of the whole swimming thing. Come on. Swimming plus jetpack is not friendly. There we go. And then I'll put one more here, and then the ender chest can sit there. Let's do the same on the other side. And that is exactly enough. Okay. Get back up. Ender chest can sit here. Ender chest can sit here. And then we can grab our pipe wrench and we can pop up on top of these and extract, extract, extract all of the things. So now everything will be extracting and going straight into our drawer system. At least it should all. If I set it all up correctly, it should be. I don't think I set up the sugar cane, to be honest with you, to go into a drawer. So let me grab some of that real quick before I do anything else. Turn back on. Sugar cane. Not in a drawer. Okay, cool. So let me go back down here and grab all that sugar cane. Didn't I talk about this last episode, saying that anything that goes into a drawer should go into, a drawer? Oh, I did. See? I knew it. I talked about it last episode, and then I did the thing, and then I didn't remember that I did the thing. I said anything that we're going to have inside of the botany pots should go into a drawer. Okay, now we can relock it. Place it back, and we're good. Okay, so that means all of that stuff is now fully automated into here too. So that is pretty awesome. So now we have access to all of our essences. So if we ever need anything that requires any of these base essences, we got it. Easy as that. So with that being said, let's start working on some other new projects. Inferium essence is a thing. We're going to need to start working on processing this inferium essence. That is what's taking up all of our storage space here, by the way, is the inferium essence. And getting that set up is pretty simple. It's just another crafter from that mod, RF tools, and we'll get there. Now, one thing I want to work on right now is this guy. First off, what are these quartz enriched essence seeds? Like, I'm tired of having to make this. Tertium essence and quartz enriched iron. Okay, this is on our list. We're gonna go ahead and set up this automation. I'm tired of making all of the stuff. Tired of making the quartz enriched iron manually. So we're gonna automate it. Yeah, we're automating it. Crafter tier 2, crafter tier 3. Okay, let's grab this crafter. We're gonna come up here and we can set this guy up over here. This is our crafter tier area. Energy pipe. Except for the fact that you're supposed to sit here. How do we want to do this? Because I set these up to be set forward, which now I realize was not the smartest idea. They do retain their data, so I could move them back, but these don't. So then that becomes a pain. How many recipes do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then essence from Mystical. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically 5, but could we make it work with what's left in here? I guess if we don't go to Insanium. If we don't automate the Insanium essence, then we could just go up to Supremium. Man, I wish these had 9 recipes. That would just be much better. Okay. How do we want to do this? So Inferium is going to come into here, and it's going to turn... You know what? One thing that we need to work on is getting the infusion crystal, too. We need a master infusion crystal, which is going to require us to get some Supremium anyway. Okay. Let's do this. Let me go back over here. We're going to grab some insane... We're going to actually grab one of each. I don't know if the... Let's grab Inferium. All right, so we're going to grab this. We're going to sleep real quick. We're going to try and set this up. I I think we'll be okay doing it with just these crafters. Man, I just don't know. Do I want to set up another crafter for this? I mean, we could just set it up here. It's not that big of a deal. It's just gonna break this one block. It adds to the industrial vibe, right? And that's what I'm gonna go with. It adds to the vibe. Okay, so what we're gonna do is have this. This is gonna export all of our stuff. What we want to do is put our infusion crystal in here, and it needs to stay in this inventory. So what we're gonna do is say results of crafting operation for this is going to stay in the input buffer, because this recipe is going to be the inferium essence, if I were to do it correctly, with you and you. No? You. There we go. So we're going to say this recipe is going to be this, and the results are going to stay in the input buffer, which means that this prudentium is going to come into this buffer here. So we're going to hit apply. So if I put this in here, we're going to get prudentium. Okay. Then we need to do the same recipe, but with the next tier, the tertium. And we're going to say also remain in the input buffer. Apply. So if we put this in there, that's in the input buffer. And then we do the same thing with the next tier, which is going to be the, I think it's Imperium or Tertium. Imperium. Oh, Tertium we just did. But again, we need to make sure we say results will stay in the input buffer. So we can put this here. And then we have one Imperium. We need to go grab some more Inferium Essence because we're going to need 4 of those to make Supremium. So let's just grab a bunch of stacks of it and see what we can come up with. If we put all this in there, it's going to do its thing. Okay, so that gave us 7 Imperium. And then we're just going to do it one more time, but this time we're going to have this set to external C. Remaining items like buckets, this thing counts as a bucket, are going to stay. The result will come to the output. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to say, bam, we have a Supremium essence, and it automatically crafted one for us. So then what we're going to do is take this Supremium essence, and we're going to break it down, okay? I need to actually keep 1 Supremium, so can you make me one more? Yes. I need 1 of each tier. So there is Imperium, and then we're going to break down the Imperium into Tertium, and then we'll break down the Tertium into Prudentium. And I just need to go grab some Inferium real quick. Bam. Okay. So then we're going to come up here, and we're going to turn it off. On to activate, so that this thing's turned off. And we're going to say, okay, infusion crystal, inferium essence, you're going to go here, prudentium, tertium, imperium, and supremium. The rest of this is going to get filled in with bricks. And you remember we did this before. I was going to set this up with all of these. This is important to do so that way you don't fill this whole thing up with inferium, and then there's nowhere for the rest of these processes to go. It will stop this thing from working. Because if you fill up, we have like 5,000 inferium essence. If we dump all of our inferium in here, it's not going to have anywhere to put the prudentium because the results go into the input buffer, and it will just halt the whole thing. So for this, you want to remember the current layout. That way the things can only go here, and you can have more than 1 inferium if you wanted to, but the way this thing works is so fast, it's really not going to make too much of a difference. But it's going to remember the crafting process. And what we're going to do is we need to get this infusion crystal upgraded to the next tier. So we can go ahead and put those in there. That's going to get us Supremium. Then we needed 4 total Supremium, I think. And honestly, the Supremium didn't need to be here, but that's okay. It should never actually end up in there. So let's go grab some more Inferium. And you can see how much Inferium it takes to actually get to Supremium. It's a lot. So, Okay. All of that got us a total of 5 Supremium. So now we should be able to make the Master Infusion Crystal. It's going to require us to get a Prosperity Gemstone. There's that, and that, and we're short 1. I don't know how many. Let's see. Can you make it work? Yes. Okay. Okay, and then a master infusion crystal. So now that we have this has unlimited uses. So then we come back over here and we are going to forget the remembered layout. And I just realized that that's going to be an issue because it just took away all that stuff. And then we're going to go to each recipe and we're going to replace this with the master infusion crystal. Okay. Makes sense. Super simple. Bam. Apply. Put this in here. We can put this in so it can create, hopefully. So each stack, one stack gets me an Imperium. So you need 4 total stacks to get a Supremium. That's good. Good to know. Good numbers to know. Okay, so there we go. We have the Supremium. So then again, same as before, we need to break it down. And there's all 4 tiers. So we can go ahead and turn it off. Put the master infusion crystals in there: Inferium, Prudentium, Tertium, Imperium. Go ahead and remember the layout. Take all this out of there. So now this is fully set up. All we have to do is get an importer and an exporter. We're going to export Inferium essence and then import whatever comes out in the buffer. And so then in our refined storage system, we will have Inferium essence going out into this. All of our Inferium essence will go out to there. Wow, that does not look great. And then inside of our refined storage, we should only be left with a Supremium essence, which we can then teach the system to craft down as needed. It's more economic to store it that way than it is to store, you know, if 4 stacks of this becomes 1 Supremium. So you can see how, you know, much storage space you end up saving. So we need an importer again. And an exporter. And we really need to start diving into auto crafting. Importer, exporter. We're definitely gonna want some speed upgrades, but I'll work on those in between episodes. Let's just get these set up so you guys can see this full automation taken care of. Exporter, importer. What do I have on the top? We have the importer on the top and the exporter on the bottom. And then the exporter gets Inferium essence. So you're gonna see it's gonna come in, and I turn it back on, and it's going to do the thing. So every 4, it's going to tier up, bam, 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 and then Supremium ends up in our system. So if we go over here, we should see that Supremium that we had end up in here. And with this being automated, that means we could start working on maybe getting like the Supremium Paxel if we wanted to, and see how much faster that is than our Flux Bore and all that. So like I said, in between episodes here, I'm going to go ahead and get the speed upgrade, so this can at least a stack upgrade, so I can put a stack of this in at a time instead of, you know, 4 or 1 every second or whatever. But I like it. We're getting automated. Now we just need to work on getting crafting set up. I'm also going to go ahead and make these quartz seeds here. It's super simple. You've seen the crafting before, but it's 4 tertium and then quartz enriched iron. So I'm going to make these so we can get these going, because I'm tired of having to craft these seeds, and we're going to run out of quartz eventually too. So yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it, and it really does help out the channel. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.